Hello and welcome back to my new video. My name is Zahid and my channel is all about productivity, business and systems analysis, giving you tips and tutorials to be more self-aware, develop good work practices and ultimately make business life that little bit easier. In this video, I will be discussing the SPIES analysis tool, which I have evolved from the teachings of one of the great self-help giants, Stephen Covey, and his seventh habit, sharpen the saw. As we approach a new year, that's 2024, this tool will help you plan and prioritize your life goals. So why do we need the SPIES model? When I use Google to conduct some background research on techniques on organizing and planning my life, my results are websites, articles and videos about time management, attaining life career goals, the top 5, 10, 20 habits that I must use, or the latest 5, 10, 20 digital tools to help me organize my life. At the time of doing this video, the trend seemed to be revolving around the second brain method using Zettelkasten technique and some variation of the para method. Far be it for me to criticize these techniques. In their own right, they are very good. You should certainly explore what they have to offer, and I may cover these in future videos. My issue, however, is that I feel there is a whole series of steps missing from these methods. I believe that before you go down the path of employing the latest, greatest productivity technique to your life, you need to ensure you are focusing your energies on the goals you most passionately want to achieve. The SPIES model is used to plan your life path by applying a process of assessing you as a person using a holistic approach, which then allows you to prioritize what is important to you and finally supports you in choosing a method like Zettelkasten for self-improvement with your whole life picture already taken into account. So where did the SPIES model come from? As stated earlier, it has been mostly, but not completely, developed and adapted from Stephen Covey's seventh habit, Sharpen the Saw, where he talks about the 4 dimensions of renewal. Covey discusses the philosopher Herb Shepherd, who describes a healthy, balanced life around 4 values. Perspective, which equates to your spiritual being, tone, which equates to the physical, autonomy, which equates to your mental abilities, and connectedness, which equates to your social life. Covey goes on to discuss George Sheehan, a former long-distance running guru, who describes 4 roles in life: a good friend, which equates to your social life, being a good animal, which equates to your physical health, a good craftsman, which equates to your mental abilities, and a saint, which equates to your spiritual self. As well as Covey's contributions, motivation theory, which is the study and understanding what drives a person to work towards a particular goal or outcome, embrace frameworks such as Maslow's hierarchy of needs, whose pyramid contains physical needs, safety needs, social and esteem needs, and self-actualization. I adopted the common themes from the above theories and frameworks into the SPIES model to help organize and prioritize my life. And now I'm going to show you how to use it for yourself with a practical example. Firstly, on a blank sheet of paper, I recommend an A3 page. Draw a rectangle at the center of the page like this. In this rectangle, create a heading, Spiritual. Now from each center point of each side of the rectangle, draw a line to the edge of the paper. It should end up something like this. The next step is to label each quadrant with the following headings: Quadrant 1, Social, Quadrant 2, Physical, Quadrant 3, Intellectual, and Quadrant 4, Emotional, with the center rectangle already done being Quadrant 5. You should end up with this. Let's discuss each quadrant. The social dimension is very much made up of your relationships with the outside world. Socializing can help reduce stress and curb depressive feelings such as loneliness and restlessness. What's more, interacting with other people is a way to learn new ideas and refine your own. So this quadrant is all about your social interaction with the following categories as examples: family, friends, community, work colleagues, social media presence, and other applicable social interactions such as going with friends to a concert. On to the physical quadrant. This dimension is concerned about your physical well-being. It's a given that a healthy mind lives in a healthy body, and the benefits of exercise and diet are well documented. Regular physical activity is one of the most important things you can do for your health, and it can also improve your brain health as well as help manage weight, reduce the risk of disease, etc. The following are elements that make up this quadrant: strength exercises, functional exercises such as push-ups, walking lunges, burpees, and other bodyweight type exercises, diet, controlling caloric intake with balanced nutrition, core strengthening exercises such as yoga, Pilates and stretching, cardio exercises such as walking, swimming, running, etc. to improve your heart health, and even just going out for a leisurely stroll for a breath of fresh air. The intellectual dimension is about broadening your knowledge either through the pursuits of active learning in formal education, self-learning through pursuits of interests such as hobbies and passions, and that which is learned through your job, business or trade. The following categories are part of this quadrant: academic qualifications, self-certification paths, self-learning through portals such as Coursera and Pluralsight, developing through the apprentice, journeyman and master pathways for people who prefer trades over desk jobs, developing critical thinking and problem-solving skills, pursuing side hobbies, developing business skills, and night schools as options to develop a new skill or hobby. On to the emotional quadrant. Emotions are biological states that come about as a result of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. They exist on a continuum from pleasure to displeasure and can be positive or negative. To be clear, when I speak about emotions, I am talking about feelings you experience, such as happiness, enjoyment, sadness, fear, anger, disgust, surprise, despair, the list goes on. I believe it is crucial for good all-round health to understand what causes your emotions and how you experience them and how you can regulate them. So the categories which fall under the emotional dimension are as follows: understanding body language, being assertive, managing stress and anxiety, gaining self-confidence and self-esteem, creating win-win situations, improving your decision-making skills, and gaining job satisfaction, for example. We have finally arrived at the last dimension, spirituality. Perhaps many of you think it's something that does not really apply to you, but I strongly disagree. Whether you identify with a particular faith or are agnostic or atheist or any spectrum in between, this dimension is at the heart of the SPIES model for a very important reason. It represents your core, your purpose, your values and principles. I believe the level at which you're in sync with this dimension is a good indication as to your outward personality and behavior. Categories which fall under the spiritual dimension are your core principles, compassion, empathy, love, character, integrity, and mental strength. Your morals and ethics, your religious faith, mindfulness and meditation, things that uplift you such as harmony, rhythm, music, or being out in nature, and finally, your visions of serenity and peace. Okay, now that you have a meaningful list of categories in each dimension, which will act as a point of reference, all you need to do is start filling out the SPIES model with life goals and objectives that you are either already doing or wish to do, using what we have here as a benchmark. Try to make your objectives SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. Let's create an example SPIES analysis which will be loosely based around my life. Under the social quadrant, timetable a weekly, fortnightly short trip with family for leisure activity and bonding. Number 2, supporting children with their homework, 1 hour every evening. Number 3, timetable a weekly, fortnightly visit with friends for leisure and bonding. Number 4, planning a big family holiday, when and where to go. I could also be setting up my social media channels and blog to continue expanding my social media presence and to monetize it. And number 6, even searching for a new house to buy. That would fall into this category. On to physical. Number 1, create a diet plan for 1800 calories a day. Ensure I meet my daily veg, protein, carbs and fat goals. Reduce sugar intake to almost zero. Increase water consumption. Implement a 16-8 intermittent fasting regimen. And number 2, timetable gym sessions for 6 days. 4 times a week for lightweight training. Twice a week for doing functional exercises such as yoga or Pilates. And a daily walk with 8,000 steps a day as a starting point. Planning your intellectual quadrant could look like the following. Sign up for a course on cybersecurity, a certification path, and then penciling in study time. Number 2, continued pursuit of work-based training. Number 3, having a list of books to read for the year. Number 4, learning a language such as Arabic or Spanish. And finally, number 5, enrolling on a short course at college or university. Under the emotional quadrant, I could plan the following. Completing a short assertiveness training course, learning to say no, for example. Number 2, start a daily journal for self-reflection. Number 3, explore reasons for underlying anxiety I feel on occasions, seek professional advice and support. Number 4, incorporate breathing exercises for better self-awareness and control. And finally, practice observing how I feel through mindfulness. Finally, onto the spiritual dimension, I could develop the spiritual quadrant into the following. Ensure I get my prayer rituals in, implement a habit during morning prayers, expressing gratitude and thankfulness, fasting and solitude, practicing visualization, renewing my core principles, and attending regular prayer class on an evening. So, okay, now that we have completed the SPIES model, we need to take some time to reflect on the findings. The first thing to notice is the interconnectedness of each quadrant. Every dimension influences and crosses over into another, and you can clearly see improvements in one area will improve other areas. Secondly, you can now see you have created a life map of yourself, and you have the opportunity to, and I would definitely recommend you do this, take a few days out and just think deeply about the results, what your future aspirations are and what they mean to you, because you may need to update your findings. Ask yourself the following questions. Where will this path lead me? Is this what my heart desires? Am I willing to put the time and effort to continue on this path? If so, will some sacrifices need to be made in other areas of my life? Will I need to cut out some stuff to achieve things that are more important to me? Only when you are satisfied with the answers and you have updated your SPIES model should you move to the next step, which is creating a calendar timetable to fit all your findings into. And only when the calendar is done can you start using the PARA method or the Zettelkasten second brain method or any other self-improvement method applicable to help achieve your goals. At least you will have a full picture at hand. Overall, this approach will yield results which will make your life clearer and allows you to use other planning tools such as the PARA method much more effectively. Another significant point is that this snapshot can be recorded for future reference, and if you were to conduct another SPIES model in 6 to 12 months, you will be able to see progress or lack thereof over time. Hopefully, you will see that approaching goals using the SPIES technique allows you to conduct life planning from an organized and coordinated way rather than haphazardly picking one particular aspect of your life, applying a productivity method to it, and ignoring all else. Just doing this once will spark so many ways in which you can use this framework to plan ahead. Just try it. And that, ladies and gents, brings this video to an end. I really hope it was helpful, educational and informative. I have a follow-up video to this planned, which will be about creating a calendar to timetable your SPIES analysis findings. Until then, thank you very much for watching. As always, please like and subscribe to help me grow the channel, and please click the notification bell to be notified of the latest videos. Thank you very much and goodbye.